The employee had already gestured toward the exit when the manager suddenly stopped walking. His expression changed mid-step, color draining from his face as he looked past the counter, straight at the woman everyone had been watching. The store felt unusually quiet. Shoppers paused where they stood, sensing something was wrong. The woman near the door didn't argue or raise her voice. She simply waited, hands folded, as if she knew the situation wasn't finished yet. The employee hesitated, confused by the manager's sudden silence. He tried to explain what had happened, but the manager didn't respond. His eyes stayed fixed on the woman, scanning her face, her posture, the small detail most people had overlooked. Slowly, the manager took a step forward. His tone shifted completely as he asked her a quiet question, one that made no sense to anyone else listening. The woman answered calmly, her voice steady, her expression unchanged. Whatever she said made the manager straighten instantly. He glanced around the store, then back at her, realizing the mistake that had just been made. And in that moment, everyone watching understood this was no longer a simple misunderstanding. It was something far more serious. The manager motioned for the employee to step aside. His voice was low, controlled, but there was urgency beneath it. The employee's confidence faded instantly, replaced by uncertainty. Whatever authority he thought he had moments ago was quietly slipping away. The woman finally spoke again, not to defend herself, but to clarify something small, almost insignificant on the surface. A date, a name, a detail that didn't sound important until the manager's shoulders stiffened as if he'd been struck by the weight of it. Customers nearby leaned in slightly, pretending to browse while listening closely. The manager glanced toward the security cameras, then back to the woman. His breathing slowed, his tone softened. This was no longer about store policy. This was about a mistake that could not be undone easily. The employee tried to interject, insisting he had followed procedure. The manager raised a hand, stopping him immediately. It was the first time anyone had seen him silenced so quickly. The shift in power was unmistakable. Turning back to the woman, the manager apologized, quietly, respectfully. He asked her to wait just a moment, assuring her the situation would be handled properly. And as she nodded, calm and composed, it became clear she had never been the one out of place. The manager stepped slightly closer to her, lowering his voice even more. He asked a careful follow-up question, one that suggested he already knew the answer, but needed confirmation. The woman met his eyes and gave a small nod. That was enough. The manager exhaled slowly, as if bracing himself. He glanced toward the office door, then back at the employee who had asked her to leave. The confidence in the room had completely changed sides. Without raising his voice, the manager explained that the woman wasn't just a customer. She had a direct connection to a corporate review scheduled for that very week, one that would determine the future of the store and everyone working in it. The employee's face tightened as the realization sank in. He hadn't broken a rule out of malice, but assumptions had guided his actions. The manager didn't scold him publicly. Instead, he simply asked him to step away and continue his shift elsewhere. The woman listened quietly as the explanation unfolded. She didn't interrupt or demand anything. Her calm presence made the mistake feel heavier, not lighter, and everyone nearby understood that this moment would be remembered long after the store returned to normal. The manager offered to escort her to a quiet seating area, but she politely declined. She said she preferred to finish observing the store as she had planned. Her tone wasn't cold, it was professional, measured and firm. As she walked calmly through the aisles, the atmosphere followed her. Employees straightened their posture. Conversations softened. Nothing dramatic was said, yet everyone felt the weight of the moment and the lesson unfolding in real time. Before leaving, she stopped at the counter one last time. The manager thanked her for her patience and acknowledged the error directly. She accepted the apology with a nod, reminding him that respect should never depend on assumptions. When she finally exited the store, normal sounds slowly returned. Shoppers resumed browsing, employees returned to their duties. But something subtle had shifted. Awareness, caution, and a quiet sense of accountability remained. Later that day, the incident became a reminder shared quietly among the staff, not of embarrassment but of perspective, because sometimes the moment that changes everything doesn't arrive loudly. It arrives calmly and leaves behind a lesson no one forgets.